talked about coaching pedigree, and I agree, right? You have to be able to have the authority to talk to the players, and the players need to trust what you're saying because they know you have the credentials or you have the past success to do it. Um, I'm not sure if all of you saw the news, but it was very prominent if you were checking things that were happening in the EPL. And I don't think it was a surprise, although there were some questions on whether Jurgen Klopp would extend his contract that took him to 2024. Liverpool announced that he did sign an extension. From what I understand, I guess members of the board flew in to the Champions League match and obviously got him to I guess put an offer in front of him and said let's make this happen for 2026 and he's now signed on. So I want to ask with the current state of the EPL, all right, with the I guess with the changes that are happening with regards to traditional teams not quite at the top of where they were, and new money coming into the league with the Newcastles and even with the with the performance that we're seeing from the West Hams this year. What do you think it means for Klopp to be in the EPL until 2026 and the success that you should expect from Liverpool? I'm gonna start with you, Schools.
Well, I think, like most clubs, um, the ownership sees Klopp as a success. Look at what they're doing now. They're in every single competition. It equals a lot of money for the club, to make that money and not to look forward and say, if we change our coach, like many of the teams have, and look what where the perennial top six teams are right now. Look at United. Look at where Arsenal are. Well, not well, they're in fourth now, but look where they were. They were in seventh and eighth, finishing eighth the last 2 years. If we can lock down a Klopp for the next another 2 years or 4 years now, we can make all that money again because we're going to be in the Champions League. We're going to be going for FA Cups. We're going to win the league. We're going to you can become a global brand again because you're going to be one of the most popular teams in the world. If these guys win the quadruple, look out.
Love it.
You'll see jersey sales, you'll see tickets, you'll see ticket prices can rise and people will pay because it's the best. So I think they see the chance of taking a guy like Klopp, who had the success, who's going to be successful, and keeping him around. It's a no brainer for me.
Okay, okay. Tyrez, what do you think of Klopp being in the league until 2026?
I mean, it's a smart move by Liverpool, but I mean, because like we talked about, he has that authority in the locker room. Any player they sign, they know they're walking into Klopp's team. Like they have to do what he says. Like, I mean, to be honest, like I just don't I don't think I've ever seen a big team lose like their main like I could think like Klopp will probably be one of Liverpool's best managers. I just don't see a team losing a manager of that caliber and ever like having a smooth transition. So I think it's a great thing that they re-signed him for another few years
Yeah.
because like I already said with Man City, like I don't like when Man United lost Ferguson, very bad transition. When Arsenal lost Wenger, very bad transition. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you lose that like your keystone manager, like the manager that changes, like makes history for your club, it's just never a smooth transition. I feel like so. I mean, it's completely understandable if they got
Okay,
the
hold
second
on, hold
club.
on,
I
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. So you you think that after a Klopp or after a Pep, that those clubs should expect a.
turbulence, at least
Do you
turbulence.
think they
Like
should
it's never
expect
gonna.
an EPL drought like those two clubs?
Yes,
So Manchester United is what 10 years?
not as
Um,
bad as Manchester United because they have mountain of other issues in the office department, but I would think like even Arsenal just had a few years like of a rough transition. But I would say like at least like probably like 3 or 4 seasons. If they do it anything less, then like hats off to them. Like I'd be very impressed. But with
What
the
you know,
current manager market, like it's just not feasible, I guess.
Hmm.
players are gonna leave with Klopp too, though, right? Like
Exactly, that's my point. When you lose,
Salah has
when you
a contract that he needs to sign, and if Klopp's leaving, then maybe he says, you know what, thanks but no thanks. It's been nice.
exactly, exactly.
Okay. Okay. No, that's fair. Um, I'm gonna ask this question to Prince. With with it being 2022, um, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the rumor. The squad. All right. But
It can happen though. That's the
it
thing. It's still
no,
on.
it sure it's still on. 20.
Have they won one trophy already, or?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
won Caribou Cup, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I saw
So
they
there's
still
three
had one
left.
more game for
Well,
the.
Chelsea's gonna do their thing in the FA Cup.
Yeah,
Manchester City's gonna do their thing in the league. and
they've never
and
done anything in the league.
Villarreal
What are you talking
Villarreal
about?
is going to do their thing in the Champions League.
Okay.
Now, with sorry, Prince, my train of thought. 2023, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. 4 years. What should be the expectation of Klopp trophy-wise for those 4 years? Would you say would be success for him and an extended contract?
You're talking to an Everton fan about Liverpool.
I thought you would see the irony there.
Oh, that's funny.
Say no success. I'm okay with that.
No, nah, because I'm not a like super like
Hater.
haha. Like I'm realistic. What success looks like for them. I mean, you have to remember where Liverpool came from before Klopp. I mean, even to a degree before Brendan Rodgers, that club was in disarray for the better part of
Garbage.
six, 7, 8, 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Complete
Garbage.
disarray. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And so I think success for them looks like maintaining the level at which you're at. Your annual Prem challenger, making Champions League semis and quarters every year. I would see that as success because you got to remember they came from nothing. They weren't in Champions League. They were struggling to make it in every year. So
do you think that would be the expectation if you hear it from schools they're winning the quad? Do you think that would be the
I
expectation?
didn't say that. I said they still have the opportunity to win it. They're in every trophy, right?
Yes, yes.
It's
So
possible they could happen.
they're in every trophy for sure. If they were to be out at the quarterfinals, that obviously would have happened a couple weeks back. Do you think Liverpool fans, having been able to challenge for every trophy, would accept being out in the quarters or the semis with regards to the Champions League? Do you think that they would accept possibly only winning one more EPL? Do you
no,
think? Yeah.
no, because look at the team you have built. I mean, your team is built for success. It's not built to sit around in third or fourth place. I mean, you know,
Yeah. So
controversial topic. I genuinely think Chelsea's built to sit in third, fourth, fifth. I don't see Chelsea as a top two team in the Prem. I don't.
yeah, that's not controversial. They had an amazing. What's the when you're in great form in FIFA? What kind of patch is that? What kind
What
of
do you mean?
card is that? Like when a player is in like
Team of
Inform?
the week.
player of the week
Informs?
in forms. Okay, so Chelsea was in form to close out last year's season, winning that Champions League. I think it created an illusion of how strong of a club they were with regards to challenging. But I want to ask this question because as you guys were talking, you kind of brought this to light. The fact that it's not Klopp from the early years, right? It's not Klopp from the rebuilding Liverpool. He's got a team that's challenging on all fronts now. He has such a strong squad. Can there be anything less than an expectation of Champions League or EPL moving forward because of the strength of the squad? Schools, what do you think?
Well, yeah, because he has to keep that team together. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking about it, and we were talking about this exactly actually, and the things that they can do offensively are just it's crazy. So you have Mane, Firmino, and Salah up top, and then when those guys aren't firing, you can go get Diaz and Jota off the bench to come on, and Origi if you rate him. I know, but people do off the bench. So as long as he's able to keep a semblance of the guys that are doing the business now, yeah, sure. They're going to be successful. They will be successful.
Yeah,
Now, like I said, if Klopp leaves and then Mane's contract comes up and he says, well, yeah, it's not going to be the same. See you later. And Fabinho leaves and Van Dijk's contract comes up and he says, you know what, it was really nice playing here. I'm leaving, and Salah leaves, then it's going to be different for Klopp if he's still there.
fair enough.
But as long as he can keep this core together, it's going to be the same for the next 2-3 seasons.
I hear that.
I also, just real quick, I think it's important to look at the recruitment. We talked about earlier about the bad apples. Liverpool not only doesn't bring in bad apples, but has strong positive influences within their locker room with Hendo and Van Dyke demanding. You even see it on the field. Henderson will yell at Mane for not chasing a ball. Will yell at Salah for not chasing a ball. Like, they hold each other accountable, and I think that's a huge part of
Yeah.
why they're so successful. No one gets away with slacking off around here.
Right.
And if you want to be that way, then go find a different club. And it's that simple. Like,
Yep, fair
I don't
enough.
think Klopp genuinely has to do too much because the players know what is demanded from him.
Right. He's established the culture, well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Players know what is
Yeah.
expected of them. I hear that. Shout out to Edison. He's on the stream. He hit us up with some comments. He made sure to say that Inter choked yesterday. Goalkeeper error in the 82nd minute.
Probably lost the league on that.
Yeah, it looks like it. And he's a AC Milan fan, so he's loving it. 4 games away from champions. Yep, I'm happy for you, my guy, because I know you've been a fan for a really long time, and they've had some tough times. Um, all the points you guys were making, bang on, and I'm glad with regards to a panel because you guys know your football. Let me transition.
Vader games.
See,
Whoa,
but like all that stuff
what?
with Liverpool is kind of what I'm hoping is going to happen with Man U in the next few years. Like, I don't know if you guys have been seeing Ralph's like pressers and stuff, but like the man has been like ruthless with calling out like all the stuff that's happening in the club, and even has talked about like captaincy and all that kind of stuff and how he wants to change up the system.
Yeah, I think as I see it, and yeah, of course, timeline, all that stuff comes across. I think Rognick is being the bad cop. I think that's like he's like I'm gonna take all the heat off of what Ten Hag needs to do, and I'm gonna be the bulldog. I'm gonna be the bad cop. I'm gonna point everything out, and then he can come in and Ten Hag can come in as like the good guy and get things established and not have any blood on his hands in a sense. But
Yeah, because like
He's not a coach.
yeah, like I said, I don't know if he's
no,
not
but
a
he's
coach.
he's an interim coach right now.
Yeah, but he's a
but
sporting
like
director. He's not even a coach. He's
yeah,
not
so
even a sporting
I
director at
personally have
United.
no pressure on him. Like I said, I've been ready for the season to be over since Ole left. Like I knew the season was a wash. Like I knew the season was a wash. I just was hoping not to get
So
hurt too bad.
stop
And I
it.
was very
Okay,
wrong.
hold on, Ty Ribs. I gotta hold on. So at the point of Ole being fired, and I believe was it after a Watford game?
Watford.
Okay,
Yeah, 5-2.
5-2, 5-2 slapping. So after that game, that's when you're like, this season is a write off. I'm done, and like there's nothing good that's gonna happen of this.
Yeah, like I was like, yeah, like I just like from what I could tell with like squad, like
But
Pogba was injured for like 3 months at that point.
you still
I'm
had
pretty sure that was
Cristiano
at that
Ronaldo.
point.
You still had Cristiano Ronaldo. You had Varane. You had Sancho. Like
Varane was. I'm pretty sure that was also close to international break when Varane got injured as well. So I was already very skeptical of that. And
okay,
then every time you have Harry Maguire up on the field, you never know what's going to happen. So
well, can't
it's just like
boo
I
that guy.
see no redeeming qualities in the squad, and like obviously I saw bright lights from Bruno and Sancho and Ronaldo at times, but like though that's not enough. Like when you have McFred lining up and like every
This guy
game,
said McFred.
it's just not. You just know you're gonna be disappointed. Like it's just awful.
Yeah, you
But
know what? The players on your team are awful, actually. Now that you're telling me about McTominay and Fred, and I forgot about those guys. Yeah, it's bad.
like they're not completely awful. Like I'm not gonna say they're. I'm not gonna
But
say
they're
I want them out
awful.
of the
It's
club
okay.
now,
You can hold them accountable.
Yeah, this is a
They're
safe
awful.
space.
but
It's a safe space.
It's okay.
but they shouldn't be starters.
Okay.
I
Okay.
could accept them at the club in a rotation role or in an FA Cup game, but like they should not be starting day in day out.
Okay. Do
Plus,
you?
I'm pretty sure they're both on the young side too. So like, it's not like I'm ready to just throw them out the window.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I hear that. I
you
hear
can
that.
you can throw them out. I promise you, it's okay.
So is it is the expectation that it's going to be like cleaning house, and do you think that Manchester United would take a similar approach to what Arsenal's done in terms of getting young
I hope so.
promising talent?
No.
That's what I think the best solution is, because you have certain people in the locker room. Like when you have Ronaldo in the locker room, like I know he's always been criticized for being arrogant, but I feel like at the end of the day he is a good mentor to some of the players. And I do think we still need that Henderson type player to be the leader in the locker room. But
Let me put you on the
I
spot.
do I
Um,
would rather us move towards that type of player instead of high roller players that are just going to come to the salary.
I know this is going to be a. I didn't like this, but let me get your take. The Bruno signing contract extension, pay salary increase. When you think of,
I
go ahead, go ahead.
I didn't mind it. I mean, to be honest, he's been one of our best players. Like I know, like I don't like. I have so many issues with like we talked about the other day on Twitter. Like the media posts the most negative things about Man U for no reason. Like 2 years ago when
Uh,
Wan-Bissaka first signed. Hold on. Let me just use this analogy first. When Wan-Bissaka first signed up for Man U, the man was killing it. He was playing out of his mind. He was so defensive. He won so many balls. He was locked down in that corner. And then on Twitter, it started circulating the old Maldini quote of how he hated to make tackles because if he had to make a tackle, it meant he already lost the battle to the offender. And
Right.
Wan-Bissaka's biggest thing was his tackles. He was so aggressive. He always won the balls in his tackles. So suddenly people had such a negative connotation about Wan-Bissaka making tackles. And then suddenly I just started like seeing the public opinion of Wan-Bissaka turn so negative because he wasn't because he had to make so many tackles, but also because he wasn't like Trent offensively, which I
uh,
don't agree with measuring fullbacks as, because like I don't want my fullback to be like amazing offensively. I'd rather them have them rock solid as defensive, which he was.
welcome to
He was
modern
playing
football.
amazing. I know that's a personal issue, but I just couldn't believe how quickly public opinion changed with how
No,
great he was playing.
it's I think right there it's like you see it's I feel like it's a thing of you see what you want to see, right? Because I
I
can tell
do,
you
yeah.
within 5 to 10 games I was like, hold on, this guy, one, can't really cross a ball, two, the reason he's having to make some of these tackles is because he's getting beat positionally, and he's forced to be in a position where he has to recover instead of preventing, right? And that's never really a situation you want to be in, because you always want to prevent before you want to recover. Because if you're having to recover, that person already beat you. They're already gone. And so I think position like
I'm not saying he was the top right back in the league. I was just saying he was a much like improvement over what we were had at the past. Like
Yeah.
well, no, because then you guys also let Dallo go away on loan, and look at that. Look, he goes has one great year at AC Milan, and it's like, wait, hold on, this guy's actually good. No,
Yeah.
yeah, he was good when you signed him in the first place,
yeah, I
and
know.
sat him
I,
on the
I didn't
bench for
agree
two
with I
years.
did
The thing
yeah,
that's
I didn't agree
wild,
with that. Like
the
we
thing
should
the
play him.
thing that's wild, and actually I got to remember schools on this one because he kind of set me straight. He's like, what? Why are you listening to all these fans or rivals on Twitter, right? Like just in the space in itself, because of so many people on it and so many people able to just like or retweet comments from others, there's like you can get a point of view on both extremes. And I think with regards to Wabasaka is defensively, when he was at Crystal Palace, he was highly rated. Like
Yeah,
he would lock down whoever was on his side. Like you appreciated him or you respected him for what he did. Now,
exactly.
with systems kind of changing and maybe an emphasis on trying to get more offense out of your right back or fullback,
Yeah,
that change in expectation is where I was like, okay, this is a little
yeah,
unfair because for what he was quality. Now,
Yeah.
exactly. I personally think they should have shifted him to a center back role, but that's my personal
You're just a
opinion.
FIFA player, bro.
yeah,
I
I don't
know.
know about that. I
You're a
don't know
FIFA
about that.
player,
I
bro.
should like the man's got some pace and he's got good tackling. I see
I
why no
mean,
reason why him not to be a
I-
center back.
but to draw a comparison to that, I mean, look at the systems that you play at Crystal Palace. Who he was playing in Crystal Palace under Roy Hodgson, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes,
Yeah.
it wasn't Vieira.
His
Yeah, I know
No,
that.
it wasn't
But
Vieira.
his system is primarily sit back counter, right? And in a system where you're sitting back, guess what? You as a fullback for the most part aren't doing anything offensively, right? Because the
Hmm.
counter is we're gonna hit quickly, and then guess what? We're gonna get back
Yeah.
in our two lines, two banks of four, whatever it was. And then
mhm.
it's like now you go to a team where guess what? The other team is set back on the and the two banks of four. Now you have to make something happen, and it doesn't suit him.
That's actually very true. Yeah, but like
Case in
I'm just
point
using Wan
is
Bissaka as
Grealish.
an example though.
I mean, but
Yeah.
case
Yeah.
in point is Grealish. Grealish, you play on Aston Villa where teams are
Yeah,
actually gonna try and beat you. Where with you playing with City now, you're not gonna have nearly the same space because everyone's gonna be sitting in their box. And
Yeah.
so guess what? His dribbles drop from 4.5, what is it, successful dribbles a game to like two.
Yeah.
He doesn't look as good because the systems are different.
We lost Tyrese for a second, so
And his phone probably died or something.
I'm gonna wait for him to join though real